Welcome to Obscured Reality with Mark and Stephanie. From UFO sightings to the lost city of Atlantis, from alien encounters to the living dead, each episode will leave you questioning reality. If you're ready to explore the eerie, tune in to Obscured Reality, where mysteries come alive.
Smiling tonight. Oh, yeah, that's because we're recording this time. Welcome back to Obscured Reality. Mark and Stephanie, we're back again.
Officially.
Officially. We have numerous things to go over tonight. Guys, you're not going to want to miss it. We got Sasquatch. We got mystery drones. We got mystery fog. What the heck? You're going to want to stick around to the end, because I know exactly what's going on with this mysterious fog. And I know from a trusted source as well. So you will want to stick around to the end. I promise you. I will give you the answer to what's going on with that. Now that I've checked to make sure we're recording for the second time, let's begin.
God damn it.
Let's start with an article. I'm going to share this with you. This is from
Only took 2 years.
Fox News. So this was from December 29th. Okay. 2 dead after search for Sasquatch in Washington National Forest. 2 men in Portland, 59 and 37. This was in Skamania County, Washington. Oh boy. And here we see a snapshot of a video. Looks like the one we went over, I don't know how many episodes it was, 10, 20 episodes ago. This came out. Turned out, if I believe I'm thinking of the correct one, this may have been dudes in Colorado, on the mountainside by where a train goes through the valley there, in between the mountains.
And it's like guys who dress up in
it's a known
outfits,
fact in the area that people go out there and dress up to screw with people on the trains, and is what it is. I
love them.
I wouldn't mind doing it. So 2 men from Portland, they died searching for Sasquatch during Christmas week.
That's sad.
Around 1 a.m. on Christmas Day. They received a report from a family member. Basically, they didn't return. They went out searching for Sasquatch. He did not return home when planned on the 24th of December. A license plate reader did locate the men's car off Oklahoma Road near Willard. They searched for 3 days. More than 60 volunteers, canines, drones, all this stuff. Even Coast Guard air assets. Now, what's interesting, we're not going to go too much more into the article because they don't really even talk about finding them. They do say after a 3-day search over difficult terrain, harsh weather conditions. It does say they were located. I did miss that last time. Deceased. They were in a heavily wooded area. Both deaths appeared to be due to exposure based on weather conditions and ill preparedness. Freezing temperatures, snow, high water levels, heavy rain, downfall, and heavily wooded terrain. So, the point is,
sucks.
Be prepared. I've said it before. I think, I wouldn't mind going on a Sasquatch hunt. I probably never will. It doesn't really interest me too much, but I wouldn't mind. I think it'd be fun just because I like camping, hiking, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I would fully expect not going to find anything. Why? There is a particular scientist. I don't recall his name, but, I could probably find him pretty quick. Not right now. But he had come out years ago talking about this, and he was saying, he firmly believed it would be next to impossible for a bipedal creature of this size to be living in this country or around the world without us even knowing. He said, looking at sightings, looking at reports, and how infrequently the alleged mysterious Sasquatch is allegedly seen, he goes, it would appear there's not a big population of them, right? He goes, you would need such a large population of these things for them to continue to grow and not
Maintain.
become extinct,
Yeah.
that there's no way in hell you wouldn't have found one by now. And I mean, I don't even need him to say that. I
Right.
agree on the simple fact of there's no way we wouldn't have found one by now.
Right.
It's just doesn't ring true. I think it'd be really cool if
Oh yeah.
we're all proven wrong and they're out there. It'd be cool. I wouldn't want to see, I know at least one will be captured to study scientifically and blah, 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 all that stuff and classify it. But I'd hate to see one wind up in a zoo, in a jail. Same thing.
Yeah.
But, it would be cool if they were a thing,
Yes.
but
Yes.
I'm with him. I don't think there is. I think it's just, I don't know. I mean, I've seen tons of videos, documentaries on the stuff.
Mhm.
And unfortunately with those, you don't know if these people are setting this stuff up. And I'm talking about the legit documentaries that have been on TV. You don't know that they're not out there setting stuff up, but I've seen some of it that it looks totally legit,
Yeah.
But then we get the guy back from, when was it, the 70s or something? We did an episode on
Mhm.
his recordings a few months back, and you listen to those recordings, and I actually saw something else on that recently, probably within the last couple months. Someone else was looking at those, and man, it sounds like people out there making weird noises.
Yeah.
Probably friends of theirs,
Yeah. There was one video that does have me intrigued that I can recall from all of our Bigfoot ones. It's the one where they're like on the other side of like a stream or a river, and there's something launching rocks at them from across. That's the one that still sticks with me. It's like, what the fuck was that? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
yeah, I
I've
mean,
seen
it could just be a
something.
mountain man with a fucking
Who
slingshot
knows?
for
I've
who.
seen something similar on a documentary. A house. This is out in remote, like Canada or Alaska. Like you can only get there
Mhm.
by plane. It's right on a lake and a heavily forested. And they went out there with a crew, and they even had set up some wooden planks with nails sticking up out of them in front of the front door, because the person who, when he stayed there, this thing would come around by the front door and stuff, and they allegedly found, hair samples on the nails, possibly blood. When they were there filming, they had stuff being thrown from the woods, allegedly. I mean, you could hear it. You couldn't see
Yeah.
it, but you could hear it. And,
Mhm.
it wouldn't be that hard to go out there and do it. But, you hear some of these noises on these documentaries, and you hear what they're claiming to be what sounds like very thick, large branches, almost like small tree trunks being banged against other trees.
Mhm.
And you can tell by the sound, it does sound like that, but that doesn't mean a human couldn't reproduce that
Mhm.
somehow out there, you know? And I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying I believe it's not true.
Right.
Doesn't mean it isn't, we don't know. Let's move on. Mysterious drones. Guys, you know all about this. First, do you know what Dior bags means when it comes to watching videos on TikTok? Dior bags.
Dior.
Mystery drones. I don't know how they
Dior.
equate to Dior bags, but they do,
Oh.
because the rumor now is that if you mention mysterious drones on TikTok, they take all the videos down, which is complete BS, because none of mine have been taken down. And all the other ones that talk about mystery drones haven't been taken down either.
Fair. Yes. Very
Got to
true.
remember,
Very
guys,
true.
TikTok, don't believe what you hear. You can believe us, but, it's up to you. 90% of the stuff's just crap, it really is. And so everyone's posting under this Dior bags crap. And we did a show on these mystery drones when it started happening.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'll say it again. I've not seen one video or picture that shows anything other than airplanes or helicopters. Even the photos with the strips of light, I proved with my own photos what that is. It's
Mm-hmm.
nothing more than an airplane. And yet, so, yes, some of these may be we say drones, but let's be more clear. UAV, unmanned aerial vehicle. I'm referring to the planes that don't have anyone in them that are being piloted remotely from the military. We know there is a training area, a training corridor in New Jersey where the stuff's being seen. Some of the rumors are that a ship showed up with some radioactive material on board, and when it arrived, the container was damaged and the radioactive material was missing. So one of the rumors is that these drones are out there sniffing for radioactive material, which could be possible.
Okay.
From what I've seen, it sounds like it is true that did happen regarding the radioactive material. Also, heard someone talking about the radioactive material saying, going through the different levels of classification, and this is on a level that's not a threat. I mean, obviously you wouldn't want to be holding this in your hand, but it's
Right.
not like you're going to make a boom out of it,
Right.
So it's not quite like that, but who knows? It could be completely something else, could be something biological, and they don't want to tell us. So this article came out December 25th. Former defense official makes earth-shattering UFO revelation as unexplained drones leave millions on edge. Now, we did talk about not this article, but some things related to it. We probably won't go through the whole thing here, but a lot of this is referring to Louis Elizondo, former head of the Defense Department's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, or ATIP. And they're talking about him and other witnesses that testified before Congress in November. Quote, I believe that we as Americans can handle the truth, and I also believe the world deserves the truth, is what Elizondo said. And I agree. They want to enact legislation protecting whistleblowers too afraid to come forward. Hopefully that legislation is geared more towards this only and not just everything, because we don't want secrets, tips, and tricks coming out of the bag for our adversaries to know. Here's a photo from 1957. This is from Alamogordo. This UFO was photographed when it hovered for 15 minutes near Holloman Air Force Air Development Center, Alamogordo, New Mexico in 1957. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure the photo's legit, but we need a little more. Is that from inside a home? If that's from inside a home, how do I know that's not a lamp hanging from the ceiling, reflecting off the window?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it is.
Right. But, I mean, very plausible. That is what that
Yeah.
would look like.
Yep. Or at least could look like.
Yeah, true. No, as someone, as a kid of like the 80s, and I would sit and just stare out like the window that didn't have any light framing in it. Like, that's kind of how the lights looked on the window.
Yeah,
like I spent a lot of time looking out that hoe because there just wasn't internet back in the day. So
when I go on long drives, like we're talking between 5 to 8 hour drives, going north, a lot of times I'll leave in the middle of the night, anywhere from between midnight and 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Because I like driving out on that dark highway without the sun, without the heat, without the cars. I've had a couple times where lights in my car played tricks on me. I look out the window, and I see this thing just going. Like, what the hell is that? I'm not thinking anything's crazy is happening, but I'm just wondering what the hell. And it takes a minute, and you realize, oh, it's that little red light from the charger or the blue light or whatever.
Yeah.
So one of the main reasons for this article we're going to look at right here. A military-trained observer reported that he was camping alone in Mountain Center, California in October, so very recent, when suddenly all natural outdoor-related noises went silent and the entire area lit up brighter than the brightest full moon he'd ever seen. Now, this is interesting. We hear a commonality here. All natural outdoor related noises went silent. This is not the first time we've heard that with UFOs as well as Sasquatch.
As well as spirits sometimes.
Yeah.
Graveyards in
Yeah, well, those are always
No,
spooky.
no.
Just
No, no. I get it. They're always creepy, but they're even creepier when there's like no birds chirping, no wind, no rustling of squirrels,
yeah,
nothing. Like
yeah,
most cemeteries have some form of life in them because, you know,
dead
squirrels.
life, but life.
But like when you walk into a
Yeah,
cemetery, like I mean, there's animals everywhere, like
yeah,
so there's lifing. But when you walk into a cemetery that's void of even that, and it's just death, it is
yeah,
creepy, and a lot of people associate that with like spirits.
yeah. Now, if you're not seeing anything allegedly
Mm,
spiritual or ghostly happening, this is, different. We're talking
yeah.
when these events happen, UFOs and Sasquatches. It's been a long time rumor that,
Mm,
you know, a lot of common things that happen. One of them is animals stop. There's all of a sudden
yeah.
no noise. Now, you got to remember that may not even be true. Imagine being out in the middle of the damn forest. Let's say you and I went camping tomorrow
Mm,
and we're out there for a week and we go for a little hike. There's a small trail so we know our way back
mm,
and we think we see something. You're going to have a heightened sense of alert and you're going to be more focused on that and things might just quiet down in your head because now you're actively listening and you might notice one or two things here or there but you're just focused and may not notice the natural sounds. Your brain may just drown that out focusing on what the hell could that have been, you know?
yeah,
I
that's
mean,
fair.
who knows? I'm not saying that's the case, but he said he saw a bright white oval light that was about 20 to 30 feet long and hovering at treetop level, adding that the light remained completely still and noiseless, emitted no heat, and resembled a large helicopter. So I have questions. Number one, was this at night? Did it say it was at night? I don't know, but emitted no heat. How would he know? So he's a military trained observer. I love how anyone from the military that comes out with a story like this, they always say they are trained observers. Now, the pilots are, they're, especially the fighter pilots, they're very well trained on being able to pick out any type of airplane from miles away. They see a little dot, they can tell what they are. I mean, they've all talked about it.
That's
I can
so
get on
cool.
board. I can get on board with that.
Mm,
People on the ground, if they're their purpose is active combat. If something arises, I could see them being trained to focus on this and that, how
mm,
to tell adversary from, you know, your own team to avoid friendly fire. I can get specific types of trained observation in these people, but I don't know about just classifying so many or all of them as military trained observers. Because not one of them is a trained observer to observe UFOs.
right.
Okay. Now, I don't necessarily disagree with this. However, we don't have a name. It's anonymous, blah, 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 all that stuff. Well, how do we know? We don't.
Right.
But it is interesting. Um, the light lit up brighter than the fullest moon he'd ever seen. Um, I mean,
Poetic.
there's similarities in here to what I saw in my
Hmm.
area, somewhat. Now I want to know, how did he exactly know that it did not emit any heat? You can see a jet fly over at cruising altitude. You can't tell it's emitting heat. A helicopter could fly over 1,000 feet above you, unless you know what to look for. Which, even if you do, you're probably not looking for it. You might not even notice that it is emitting heat from the exhaust, port in the back. Especially on a helicopter, because you have the rotor wash and stuff mixing all that up,
Mm,
so you don't see it as
yeah.
clearly, the little fluctuation in the air
Hmm,
clear as
hmm,
you do on
hmm.
a jet, but just floating there. And I want to know what made him feel that this resembled a large helicopter. I'm not dismissing his story. I believe him. I have no reason not to, other than it's anonymous. No reason to be anonymous because unless he was on duty.
I mean, maybe it's the fact that it was hovering and the like size, length of it. I mean, maybe that's why he was referring it as to like a helicopter, just based on its
Yeah.
size and hovering
But
ability.
with no noise, the last thing I'd think is helicopter.
It,
And do you see rotors?
true.
What,
Okay, yeah.
there's
Okay.
got to
Look,
be
I was
more
trying to
than
give
that.
him the benefit of the doubt. All right. I was trying.
Yeah, no, I do too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's things to look at here, and you never
Oh, I
get those
agree.
questions asked or answered in any of these
No,
damn
no, I
stories.
completely, agree with that.
So several pilots also reported seeing 3 or 4 UFOs in the sky over Oregon, flying at different altitudes just a few weeks ago. So it's happening. The pilots reported seeing strange red circular lights zipping around at night. And a United Airlines pilot contacted the control tower to talk about moving lights seen over Western Oregon. Um, Strange red circular lights zipping around. Interesting. In April 2022, a witness said she noticed a light in the sky over a reservoir in Connecticut, believing it was potentially an unidentified aerial phenomena or UAP, UFO. I'm always a sky watcher, so I was wondering if it was a plane. But the way it was moving, there's no way it was a plane. Again, I want more conversation with the person. How was it moving that made you believe it wasn't a plane? Again,
Right.
not dismissing it, but I want
To know more.
I want as much as can be had to verify or unverify the story, the claim.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say so. I'm not trying to prove or disprove what somebody's saying.
Mhm.
I don't care either way, but I want to know either way. And there's always too much detail missing. And when it comes to news articles, that's not surprising because they're in it for ratings.
Yeah.
So, regardless if it's BS or not, they're not going to tell you. Here's a picture. This one came out a few months ago. Newly released image shows UFO that was shot down by a U.S. fighter jet over Canada in 2023. So we remember these Chinese spy balloons,
Oh, yeah.
guys? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So this, I believe, was around that time. This was released as one of the ones they had shot down. Now, this is interesting. I think this is very interesting. What could it be? I'm not even going to begin to say. I don't know. But it is an interesting photo. If it is legit from the military, from one of their craft photographing it, then definitely anomalous at this point, right? Um, that's about it for those stories. We have the FBI, Newark, New Jersey State Police, New Jersey Office of Homeland Security and Preparedness are asking public to report any related, drone sightings, all this stuff from what's been going on in New Jersey, and it allegedly has not been happening just there. It's quite a few different states around the country. Nothing's really come out on it. Here is a picture we did not show when we went over this last time. I had seen this, but I did not have it. What's that look like? It's a helicopter, guys. But, mysterious drone. A photo taken in the Bay Shore section of Toms River, New Jersey shows what appears to be large drones hovering in the area at high altitudes. And they put this picture with it. They're not specifying that this verbiage that they typed right here is related to this photo. They're just including this photo. They may very well know this is a helicopter. I mean, it's very clear that's a helicopter. Now, whether it's unmanned or not, you don't know. And this is the type of crap that's coming out with all this drone stuff in the last month is pictures like this. It's very clear it's a helicopter, yet they're throwing this crap all over, news articles, all over news channels on TV, saying mysterious drones, look at this. And a 5-year-old can look at that and say, it looks like a helicopter. It's pretty damn clear. You see the skids, you see the rotor, one here, or the blades on the rotor, one there, one out here. Obviously, you got the lights, you got the tail section. Looks like this might be rounded. Probably not the rotor. I mean, the rotor's here, right? The rear one. But
Right.
some military ones, like I believe the Comanche has rear rotor is the tail rotor is in an enclosure. Um, can't tell if that's what's going on here. Obviously, the light could be playing tricks with the eyes. This is a helicopter. There's nothing mysterious. Um, that's it for the article, but this is the same crap we went over when we reviewed this a few weeks ago. There's not been one video or photo that shows anything anomalous yet.
Mm-mm.
And most of what I've seen is satire anyways. So, if you're looking at it on TikTok, get rid of it. It's crap. Whether you like TikTok or not, I don't care. But most of it's crap. It's all fake. Now we need to talk about mystery fog. Okay? Stick
Yeah.
around. I'm going to tell you from a trusted source exactly what's going on.
Oh, yeah?
I promise you. Yep,
Okay.
100%. Guaranteed.
All right.
No yoke here. So this whole thing with the mystery fog popped up in the last, I don't know, week or so. It piqued my interest that it came up because I had literally just thought about the exact same thing on the morning of or the night prior to first seeing all these videos coming out about mysterious fog everywhere in all these different states. Okay. And now let me explain why first. I'm in Southern California. Do we get fog here? Yeah. Where I'm at particularly, we see a little bit more than where I used to live, which isn't far. However, right now we have what's called the marine layer. And the marine layer at night is this huge, just thick padding of fog. It just sits out over the ocean. You can see it from the coastline. You can see it inland if it's clear day. You can see it sitting there right over the water. It's thick, it's huge, and it's low. Typically, we don't see the marine layer around this time of year. It does happen, I'm sure, but we don't typically see it in December. We don't typically have fog here in December. Now, the prior week, prior to these videos coming out, we had daily, during the day when the sun's out, the sky was just hazy as hell. And I've never seen it like that other than because of smog, which is pollution, right? And that for here happens when the winds change and the smog from typically LA County comes this way. And that's when we get it. And we get air pollution notices and all that crap, right? This is different. What I've been seeing most likely is moisture in the air, but during the day when the sun's out, and it has a different look to it, a different tint. You can tell it's not your typical smog, and I know it's been more wet out, even though my hands are telling me it's a lot more dry out, which is also interesting, and not the only one in the family whose skin is drying up right now, even though it's so moist out, okay? Oh, don't say that word again. Please, moist out. And I was already just sitting there thinking, this is weird. We never get fog this time of year. Now, 2 nights ago, New Year's Eve, it was the foggiest here I had ever seen it, ever in the specific area I'm in. Now, it was there for a few hours. Okay. We walked back from a friend's house who lives in our track, 9-ish or so, maybe, around 10-ish.
Okay.
And it was thick. And I took a quick video, a slow motion video on my iPhone, just because it was so much in the air. And I took a flashlight, a bright one, super bright, shined it straight up.
Oh,
into
that
the
super
air.
lumen one you have?
Yeah. It took some slow motion video of it. I just thought it might look cool. I didn't know if it would or not. Here's the video. And you can see how much particulate from the fog is in the air. It's just literally, you just looked at thousands of water particles.
That's literally the videos they're uploading to TikTok.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Now, that is not the norm
Mm-mm.
for this time of year. I'm not saying it's not normal, but for this time of year, we don't typically get it. However, I could see fog, but the marine layer, we don't get that this time of year here. So I was already thinking, this is weird, but not a big deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that morning, boom, TikTok everywhere, mysterious fog. Everyone's reporting it around the country, and that's why I text Stevie
Mm-hmm.
at day. I go, hey, is it foggy over there in Indiana? And he's
No,
like, no, but next
but
door it is. But
a
you
little
know,
bit. Only the west side,
yeah,
really. Like,
well, right, yeah, I had seen someone
yeah.
saying something about foggy in Indiana. I'm like, let me
But
check.
it
But
was. Well,
it's so big.
okay. So my part of Indiana, it was not. But I mean, I also didn't see any reports from my friends back in like Michigan or South Bend or anywhere else, like
Right.
talking about fog on any social media.
Yeah.
So
And they wouldn't unless they thought it was odd. You
yeah,
know, why would
like
you? Nobody ever
exactly.
does.
Like
Yeah.
we're used to that shit. Like when we have abnormally warm weather after it being stupid fucking cold, like it was, we get fucking fog. Sorry, we get fog.
Whoa,
I'm
calm
so
down.
sorry.
Whoa,
I'm
whoa, whoa.
annoyed. I
Oh,
apologize. I'm
oh,
annoyed.
oh, she's
Okay, I
going
get it.
crazy.
I get it.
Yeah,
Calm yourself.
unless you think it's weird,
Yeah, it's
you're
not
not gonna
weird
be
though.
posting
Like
about it.
I don't know. Like I just recall not last winter, but probably a couple winters ago, it was there's a lot of winter mornings that were just really foggy and it cleared up. But I mean, at the same
Yeah,
time, you know, that scenario weather wise with a weather system coming in on top of it that's keeping it cloudy so the sun can't
yeah,
come through and lift the fog before it settles back for the next night.
yeah,
Around here, to me, that makes complete sense. I've lived
yeah,
in the Midwest my entire life. So to me, that makes sense. I've seen
yeah,
it in all the different states that I've lived in.
yeah.
So to me,
Well,
it's just normal. But I'm also
now,
old, and all the people posting are like kids. So
true. Well, I will say New Year's Eve when it was that foggy, we
mhm.
came home about 10 and it was bad.
Yeah,
And
that's a
after
cool
we put the
video.
kids to sleep, I went out and I drove around for a minute in the
Mhm.
track. No joke. I couldn't drive more than maybe 10 miles an hour. It had got even more thick. It was so bad. And it wasn't your typical thick fog. I've been in nasty fog on one of the Cajon Pass in California. You
Mhm.
guys from here, you've heard of it. Also in the San Bernardino Mountains, going up to Big Bear Arrowhead
Yep,
area,
yep, yep.
driving up Rim of the World. When I was a
So
kid, I
pretty.
remember we were going up and I was so scared sitting in the back of the van with my friend. We were really young. Yeah, it was my mom and my friend's mom. She was driving the van, and here you are. You've been up there a bunch of times. The cliffside of this mountain is right there on your right, like less than 10 feet away, and you can't see maybe 5 feet in front of you. That fog is literally like a cloud. The fog we had here New Year's Eve was not like a cloud. It
Mhm.
was just water. And
Mm.
not even water like you walk out and you're wet. My glasses didn't even
Very
get messed
fine.
up from it. Interesting. Odd. Yeah, kind of, but there's nothing too mysterious about it, I
No.
don't think. However, before I went to bed around midnight, 1 o'clock, New Year's, probably around 1,
Mhm.
open the garage, go outside real quick. Guess what? Clear as can be. One of the clearest nights I've ever seen. And
Hmm.
the following night when I went outside, oh my God, I've never seen it that clear at night. I
Really?
mean, I literally stood there staring at the stars for a minute, like, I've seen really clear nights here after winds come through and make sure
Mhm.
everything, all the air is cleaned out, right? I've never seen it this clear. It was kind of weird. However, I'm not saying it's nothing natural.
So I really
Now,
enjoy how clean the air looks
mhm.
after a solid rainstorm.
Oh yeah,
Oh, it is
yep,
just crisp. I love it. Like I
yep.
love
You
how the
breathe
world
better.
just like washes everything away. The dirt, the debris, the pollution. It just is like, all right, bath time. I love it.
Now, some of the reports I was seeing from people on TikTok, they were posting this stuff and they're saying, this isn't the normal fog. It smells like it's burning, like something's burning and this and that. Well, let me hit you with something real quick. When you have a thick fog, what do you think happens? Even the light can't get through. If you live in an area where it's cold, and it's been cold here, nowhere near as cold as a place like Indiana, but it's been cold, people use the fireplaces, and guess what? The fog traps some of that in. And yes, you're going to smell it easier, a better chance of smelling that than when it's just clear out and no breeze or a breeze. It doesn't matter. That fog holds some of that stuff in.
Also,
it happens.
You haven't ran your heater just yet and you turn your heater on and you have like dust and lint and debris.
Oh yeah, you get that smell.
It's gonna smell. It's gonna smell like something
outside.
Burning. Yeah, no,
outside.
It's gonna go out. Like you're gonna, and that fog will trap it. Like,
yeah,
because like the furnace, it all goes out. I mean, yeah, it goes into your house, but it still cycles out, so it's still gonna have that smell to it, and it's gonna get trapped. So maybe not even just fireplaces, but even people turning on their like furnace maybe for the first time would like promote that smell as well.
Yeah, who knows? But main point, fog is going to trap some of that in.
Absolutely.
There's going to be a better chance of smelling it when maybe on a normal night you may not, unless you're in a very specific spot downwind.
The world is Dutch ovening us.
Yeah. Well, now for the big reveal. And this is not a joke. From a trusted source, I can tell you 100% for a fact what's going on with this mysterious fog. Some people are saying it's, correct me on this, Stevie, little...
Smart dust.
Yeah, smart dust and crap like that. No. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. I got this from a trusted source.
Stores.
It was the evening before New Year's Eve.
This
mysterious
Eve.
fog...
Okay. Mm-hmm.
is not mysterious at all.
Ooh.
Guess what it really is?
Noah.
It is real, natural fog.
Wow.
Yes. I am the trusted source. Thank you. Guys, it's nothing more than that. Don't believe the crap you're seeing all over. Don't play those games. Look, we should be looking for truth when we should be searching for facts. We should be using evidence to come to conclusions. And if you don't have it, don't come to a stupid conclusion. Yes, there are stupid conclusions. And it's up to us, people, to help educate others who may not have a damn clue. It's just, oh my God, I smell something burning.
Do you smell toast? Are you having a stroke?
It's fog. Man.
Brain fog.
Jesus.
That's called a stroke, hon.
and I am kind of poking fun because, we're at a point where stupidity seems like it's at an all-time damn high. And, what's sad about it is I'm seeing, a lot of people in my area are older people. And from a particular social media platform that is more geared towards neighborhoods and communities and people living next door, you would be surprised. And we're talking about a wealthier area too. A lot of retired with money here. And a lot of these people, they see a contrail in the sky and it's chemtrails, what's going on?
Us.
And oh my God, why is a helicopter fly over? Why is a helicopter why is there a police car on the side of the road? Non-stop. And it's like, guys, you're in your 60s, you're in your 70s, you haven't lived life, you don't know about this stuff. Is this new to you? And it's amazing because it's not just the younger generations or any one particular generation. It's really weird, but it's happening. Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, like, share, subscribe, please. Comment down below. Tell us what you think about the mystery fog and this whole drone situation. Hopefully when the president-elect comes into office, hopefully some of the rumors are true, and he's going to try and get to the bottom of some of this crap. I heard a rumor, and only a rumor. I'm not saying there's any validity to this. I don't know. I heard something somewhere about the possibility of him bringing Luis Elizondo on board into the government, which wouldn't be out of the norm for Elizondo. He worked for the Pentagon. He worked for ATIP, right? To get to the bottom of this crap, maybe possibly being able to reveal the stuff. I don't know if there's any validity to it, though. It's just something I heard. Don't take my word as fact that's happening. I don't know. Just a rumor, but that'd be cool. Tell us what you think. Comment down below. If you have an obscure story yourself, wrong side right there. obscured1@gmail.com. Stevie can't see my whole everything you guys are seeing. She's just looking like, what? And my hand is right there, just out of your view. And you have an obscure story.
No idea
Send us
what's
an
going
email
on. I just work
obscured1@gmail.com. Type story in the subject line. Tell us your story. We'll tell it for you on here. We know a lot of people are skeptical about talking in public or to friends or family about something odd they've seen. And you shouldn't be. And especially now, guys, now's the time. I can't tell you how many more people have opened up to me once I've lightly brought up the UFO conversation. An easy way to do it, if you are really wanting to talk to that family member or friend about it because it's just bugging the hell out of you, there's an easy way to bring it up now. It's all over the news, and I'm not talking about the mystery drones. I'm talking about the stuff that's come out since 2017 regarding Lou Elizondo, all these UFO videos and all this stuff, right? Yeah, congressional hearings. You can bring it up by starting the conversation with that and being like, I saw something weird once, and you play it off as if it's probably nothing, but you can at least explain it and get it out and see the response. I have had people completely unexpected tell me some stuff, even from my area, once I opened up to them, and I haven't had any lashback on it. However, I'm ridiculously tall and nobody wants to mess anyway. So it's like, well, who knows? Maybe they're intimidated. So tell us your story. We'll tell it for you on here anonymously if you want. If you want to come on the show, let us know in the email. You can come on, tell your own story. It's super easy for you to do. Just a click and you're on. You can do it anonymously. You can do it no video if you want, just audio. That's fine. We don't care. We can talk about what your experience has been and chat about it. We've had our own experiences that we've both shared on here, not just UAP related, spiritual, supernatural related, possible Sasquatch related, UAP related. We've had experiences too, and there's nothing wrong with coming out about it and mentioning it. And you know what? You learn things, and you might learn that there was a plausible explanation for it, but something you didn't think about. You also might learn that everyone else is on board and it is highly anomalous. I know what I saw was highly anomalous because I'm very familiar with some other things that you would think it would have been, but it wasn't. How do you explain things, So let us know. We'll do a show about it. Stevie, you got anything to add to this mysterious fog, drone, Sasquatch? Anything?
No, but I do really like how, what was it that happened right after the fog, that everyone's attention was taken away from the fog?
I don't know.
Oh gosh, it was something, but it was just like boom, 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 boom. Like just so many things happened like right after the fog, and all of a sudden no one was talking about it.
If you're still sticking around, I'm glad you did. She just brought up a good point that I actually meant to include and didn't. Yeah, I don't know if this is what you were thinking about. However, I've been thinking about this as well. You remember, I don't know, man, maybe about a year-ish ago, we're just having all these train crashes around the country.
Yeah, with like the chemicals and shit. Yeah.
And what? Watch that mouth, young lady.
Oh,
no, not well, yes, some were chemicals, but what happened in the last week? What did we have? Like 3 plane crashes, commercial airliners. We had the one that went down on the runway, I believe, no landing gear or no nose gear, and it South Korea skidded off the runway, hit a freaking wall that
killed everybody except for 2 people.
There, and exploded. And then there was a couple other plane
Really?
crashes. Yeah, there's been 3. Yeah, at least 3.
Did not know about the other two.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, interesting.
So,
I don't
interesting.
like that.
But I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking about that too. I'm like, it's just so weird how all these things happening at the same time, and it could be nothing to it. I'm not saying there is, however.
If there's just one thing
It's
or another to
suspicious.
distract, and then all of a sudden, the New Year's Eve, New Orleans happened.
Yeah, it's
and then
very
Vegas happened.
Yeah, some of the stuff is
Again.
very suspicious, especially around an election, especially around such a controversial election or one particular person. And I'm not saying it has anything to do with him. However,
man, the conspiracy
with a
theories can run
distraction
deep on
from
this one,
something
though.
going on in there, possibly. I don't know. But this is one of the things someone who did, I think it was psychology or something. They were out on video talking about this stuff. They're like, how do you know when you're being played? What's happening now is exactly what he was describing. Look for a huge event that's happening and then look for all these other little things that just happen around it and they just take up the media's attention. We're seeing it right now. Doesn't mean that's really what's going on, but that is what's happening. There's so much happening right around a really big event or events that are all related. Go figure.
Yeah.
Not saying there's anything to it. And of course, I'd only be referring to things like the mystery drones, but mainly the mystery drones, but plane crashes. Who knows? Who knows? A lot of these planes also could be built around the same time. We're not building tons of new commercial airliners.
We really
They're
aren't.
just trying to take care of the old ones. And guess what? You have a particular manufacturer, let's just say a manufacturer that starts with a capital B. And I'm not pointing them out, so I don't want to say their name. I'm not saying they're guilty of anything. I'm just saying we all know a name like them, like a major brand name like Boeing.
Yeah.
And imagine all their commercial airliners, none of them were built past the 90s. Imagine a group of hundreds of them being built in the 90s. Well, common sense tells me, yeah, if there is something that's going to go wrong in 30 years, that we may see it go wrong on quite a few of the planes.
Yeah. I mean,
common sense, guys.
You can only do so many safety checks and like repairs and patch ups for so long before it's just like it's run its course.
Yeah, and you can only leave so many bolts and nuts loose and missing and laying around in the airliner after you build it too. But, who am I? Ha! With that said, again, like, share, subscribe. With that, we're going to get out of here. This has been Obscured Reality. If you see mystery fog tonight, go dance naked in the streets. We're out.
Be sure to check back with us often for new episodes. Feel free to drop a comment and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Obscured Reality.